Welcome everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness. Can you just check that the sound's working okay for me? Now, while I'm here, I shall say, okay, that's awesome stuff. I'll say hello to everybody in chat. Now, for some reason, my chat box has gone onto my other monitor, so I'm going to have to say hello to everybody from the other screen. So, excuse me looking over there. I've got... everybody's flown up already. Lost you all. I got James. I got Gerald. Stuart's in the house. Crypt Monkey's in the house. That's Dawn and Crypt Monkey. We have the Bull GM's in the house. James McCoy's in the house. Ambiagnostics in the house. Philippe's in the house. Hello, Philippe, and welcome back. Awesome to see you again. You have been missed. Gareth is in the house. Renegade Shank. Muse's Touch is in the house. My Scorpler's in the house, and Tal. And if I've missed anybody, I apologise. Okay, so today we are doing the new box set from Reaper Miniatures. This is the Demon box set. Now, my set is actually from the Bones 5 Kickstarter, but they have actually just released this as a box set on the Reaper website, which you can buy from Reaper from their website, which is awesome stuff. Now, let me just get some focus here. And we'll get a closer look at these minis and then we'll start painting them up. So I am going to, what I've done, I've already given them a coat of dragon black. So that's what we need to do. We start off our miniatures with a nice dragon black on all these demons. And it's a very, very simple paint doing the old demons. It's lots of nice reds. Hello, Knight of Wrath. Summoned by demonic. It's a bit dark. There we are. I can see it a little bit better with the light there. So the paints I'm using today to paint these demons, mainly we got Garnet Red by MSP and Fresh Blood by MSP. So what I'll do, I'll get those onto the palette now. Like I say, it's a very simple paint. And loads of paint on the palette there. Some of you have been asking what I use for my palette. This is actually a Games Workshop palette. It's a little booklet of these things. It's like a little booklet you buy, and it's got little pages that you just use to put your paint on. Really handy, useful. And we just use it and then throw away what you don't need. It's a very simple little palette. Costs about £5 for about 25 sheets, I think. I mean, lots of people use tiles. You can use your wet palettes as well. I don't use a wet palette. My paints don't stay on the palette long enough to actually dry out. The speed painting. Okay, so we got a little bit of tissue here. We'll start with the little ones first. My video is a little bit of a slowdown. I apologise for that. Nothing I can do about it, I'm afraid. So you shall just carry on painting, and hopefully you can all hear me okay, and that's the main thing. As long as you can hear me and see me, and that's not too bad. Okay, so let's make a start. I'm just adding the paint to my brush here, and we're just going to start on all these miniatures. And the reason why we're starting with the flesh first is because, like I tell you all before, we can go over the whole of the miniature and make a complete mess, and it doesn't matter because we'll be going over the rest of the miniature with the browns and the blacks later on. So if we get all the skin done first on this miniature, it makes it such a fast, easy paint. So what we're doing, we're using that black as well as a shade, so that black works for us. So we're just going over all the skin areas nice and fast. And like I say, I'm using a huge brush as well. I mean, this is how easy it is to paint these demons. You just grab a big brush, get that paint on there. And this is what's fantastic about painting demons, because there's lots and lots of skin areas. You can go wild with the old dry brushing and just add. And like I say, because we're painting the flesh first, it doesn't matter if you go over the rest of the miniature, because we'll be painting in all the clothes and the gloves and the face later on. So what we're trying to do is just get a little bit of the flesh tone going on each one of these minis first. And like I say, because we're using a black primer, it's Dragon Black primer, by the way, I used for the primer coat. That black works perfect for the shadow on the skin. And these demons are in fantastic poses, absolutely awesome stuff. And like I say, I'm not worried about making a mess at all. I just want to get the skin tone done first. I like to stick my minis to a little bit of, this is a bit of balsa wood, so I stick them, it makes it a lot easier if I'm batch painting miniatures. I can just get the job done a lot faster. I don't have to worry about holding the miniature or having it in a single holder. Hello Mokai. Hello Tim. I will say, while everybody's in chat, all the goblins are in chat, Michelle has finished the Goblin Christmas card, and I shall be posting out everybody's Christmas cards in November. Now, I post all the Christmas cards in November because I want the cards to get to you. Many of you are thousands of miles away around the world, so it can take 2 to 3 weeks for your parcels and postcards and Christmas cards to arrive. So I post everything in November just to make sure you get your Christmas gifts on time. Now, Michelle has finished the actual Christmas card. I haven't posted a picture of it yet because I want to surprise you all with the actual Christmas card and not have a spoiler, but I will say one thing: it is absolutely gorgeous. It contains the Goblin King, the Goblin Queen. It contains my cats. You got Lily, Millie and Molly, my 3 cats, and my beloved dog Bonnie. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm actually getting the Christmas card made into a poster, and I'm going to have it stuck in the living room. Lots and lots of paint going on at the moment. This is the main red going on to the demons, and then of course we shall highlight this with a lighter red as we go round the miniatures. And of course, as you know, when I'm working on my miniatures, I keep the bottom of the miniature dark using like a natural light source, and I say this all the time, I imagine as the light reflecting coming down from above. So the bottom of the miniature is always darker than the top, so all the highest areas of my miniatures are the lightest areas. It's just a nice way to add a little bit of a light source to the miniature and give it a little bit of shadow and give it that dark demon look. So like for example on the top here, his chest muscles would be a lot lighter on the top than the bottom, and we can emphasize that more on the next coat with the dry brushing. Like I say, it's a heavy coat to begin with, and then we go to a lighter tone. We just add a little bit more red. We can actually add a little bit of dragon white to the mix as well, just to make the red a little bit lighter. But the main thing to do at the moment is just get tons of red all over the whole miniature, all over the skin areas. And like I say, because we use that black, it really works well with these miniatures. You really get a dark, demonic feel to this miniature. And once we've added all this lovely red, it'll also get a black ink wash as well as a final mix onto the miniature. So just by adding that one red, they're already looking fab, because you've got that beautiful black working with the red, and you see these are drying now, and already just by adding that one coat of red and using that black behind, they're looking fab already. So what we're doing now is we are adding some lighter red to the mix now. So we go back to the beginning again, and we're making it a little bit lighter. This time we don't add it so heavy, so we're going much lighter with the brushing on. And thank you for following, Daddy Dopist. Daddy Dopist, that's cool. And as you can see, what we're doing now is we're just going to the highest areas, and it's just a very simple thing. We're just adding to the highest points of the miniature, top of the chest, top of the thighs, the hands there, and on the back the same. We're just going to the top of the miniature, back of these knees here, on the thighs. So there's only certain parts of the miniature we're working on now. And again, the next one on the top, we're just going over the top. We're letting that black work for us, and we're just going to the areas. We're just imagining the light source going directly down. So imagine you've got a light above all your miniatures as you're painting them, and so you can imagine the highest parts will be the lightest. So we're just going down the face. It'll really show up well on this one now coming up. Oh, sorry, this is a different red. This is a different red, Ambinostic. This is I've got, what I'm using today is garnet red. The garnet red was my very first paint, and what I'm just doing now, I've got fresh blood from MSP. So fresh blood is this is the paint I'm using now. Let's make sure my blue tack is sticking. There we are. So again, we're just working to the highest points, but on the thighs there. Now on the back, as you can see, he's leant over on the back, so all we're going to do is the top of the arms here. We'll keep the back nice and dark. There's a little bit on there, but we don't need a lot because we're trying to use the shade of the reds. And as you can see now, we kept it nice and dark there, and that will work perfectly for what we need. And again on the last one here, we're just going to add the red to the top of the miniature, on the hands, a little bit on the back there, and again on the front, top of the head, put in some red on the top there, on the hands, top of the shoulders, top of the chest muscles, top of the thighs, and there we are. Now we've got a two-tone reds going on that black, and as you can see, it's really starting to come to life. Very, very simply done. And that's all you need to do to add some nice skin to your demons. Okay, moving on, we'll carry on with these ones. Again, same thing, top of the shoulders. Take a little bit of paint off there. Now, it's just very fast speed paint doing these demons. You could easily get the box set done in an hour or so. So you just got to. Oh, we got people cheering, wanting to be the goblin boss. Again, this one here, we've got a lovely chest muscles. So we can just work on the top of the chest muscles, top of the head, fingers, and again on the thighs. You really don't need to add a lot of paint to these miniatures to make them look demonic. Again, a little bit on the back here. Now let's work on the wings. Now these wings are fun because all we're going to do is we are going to start adding that red to the top of the wings, but we're not going to go all the way down. We're just going to start right at the top, nice and bright, and then just go lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter with a dry brush, taking it down the wings to give a little shade on those wings. So that's all you need to do to that. Same on the other side, bright red, and then I'm going lighter and lighter with the brush. That's also picking out the fingers going between the wings, and we're keeping the bottom of the wings nice and dark, so you get a nice little transition from the bright red to the dark at the bottom of the wings. And the key of doing demons is keeping them dark and nasty. Dark and nasty. Same again, top of the muscles on the front, on the head, going onto the chest there, and we'll do the same with the front here. Again, lots of red at the top, and then just take it down slowly, making it lighter, going down the wings, so it's still nice and dark. Same on this side. And like I say, I'm not worried about going over any of the rest of the miniature. I'm not worried about going over the clothes of the miniature, because we're doing the skin first. Once all the skin is done, all we do is we paint the browns, and we paint in the rest and the silvers for any metallics. Very, very simple. But as you can see, just by adding the two-tone red, you've got so we started with our black, and then we've added a nice dark red, then we've gone on to a lighter red, and those three tones is more than enough for a very nice tabletop looking demonic demons. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wash my brush, and we're going to start on the actual clothes of the miniature. Cookie Monster Blue Demons. Shank, you're getting a cookie. Actually, you're getting a. No, you're not getting. Yes, you are. You're getting a Cookie Monster pirate ship. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, thank you. Actually, thank you, Bull GM. Thank you, Bull GM, for the gift subs. Most kind of you. Thank you so much. Okay, now for the clothes, we'll go back to the beginning. Let me show you these again. Now the paint is drying very nicely, and as you can see, each one of these demons, the skin looks absolutely fab. It's like I say, it's so simple to paint these demons, and I hope you all try this at home. And I'm sure you can get them all done in a few hours. So by using that dark red and that light red, you've got a nice little shadow going. The black is giving lovely shadows around the miniature, and it's a very, very simple paint, but it looks fantastic on the tabletop, and that's what we're all after. So what we've got now is the demons have all these little loincloths, so we're going to paint them in dark brown, and of course I'll use my woodland brown for the clothes. And also they got these little gloves, little gauntlets, so I'll paint them in brown as well. All the little claws and the horns, they'll be painted with dragon black, and the teeth, of course, I'll do in skeleton bone. But we'll make a start on the clothes. Oh, we got a new goblin boss. Now, for the clothes, like I said, I'm using the woodland brown, and then we've got some shield brown. So the woodland brown will be for the first coat, which will be our first dark coat, and then of course we'll move on with the shield brown, and that'll just be for a little highlight onto these clothes. So all we got to do is just add this brown. Like I say, everything is dark, but very, very simple. So we're just adding this brown to all the areas. And we just quickly fly through this, and we'll do it in stages. What I'll do all the front first, and then we'll fly back, and then we'll do the back. And because I used that black, we don't have to actually paint all the brown areas. I'm only painting the front facing area of the demon because it's already black underneath. We don't need to actually repaint that because we can use that as a shadow, and get away with that part of the miniature. So what we're doing is we're going on face value of the miniature. We're using that black as a dark shadow, so it saves time when you are speed painting or doing armies. You can actually use it to your advantage big time. Now wood stain brown, I mean, most of you know it's my favorite brown. It's just the perfect consistency, the perfect color. It's a beautiful dark brown. I use it for priming nearly all my miniatures. If I'm not using black, I'll be using wood stain brown. Wood stain brown just works perfectly because it's a nice dark shade. It's something to work from. Makes it very, very simple to get a beautiful looking miniature. Okay, so work on the backs, and again all we need to do is the actual loincloths. I'm going to call them loincloths. I'm assuming that's the correct name for these items that they're wearing. So we're just flying the paint on. Like I say, you can definitely get all these painted up in an hour or two. It's a very nice little collection of miniatures. Bobby Jackson, the sculptor of these miniatures, of course, is an absolutely amazing sculptor. I don't think it's possible for him to actually sculpt anything that is bad. He is absolutely in my top 10 of best sculptors ever. Hello, Andrew. Kwood Publishing in the house. Kwood Publishing is going to... He's been in touch with me, Andrew. He's been in touch with me, and he is going to be making videos of his unpainted line of Reaper miniatures. Now, Andrew has been probably collecting Reaper miniatures, metal Reaper miniatures, longer than I have. So he's probably got a lot of beautiful OP, out of production miniatures. I'm hoping he has that we might see in one of his videos. But I will tell you this, he has got a cabinet in his house which has got probably thousands of unpainted Reaper miniatures, but all metal. Andrew Kwood, he is a stickler for having metal miniatures. He is like me. Metal is his favourite medium for the Reaper miniatures, and of course Reaper miniatures have an absolutely fantastic line of metal miniatures. Now, I actually think Reaper have done well over 1,000 probably different metal miniatures. So there we are, that's all the brown added. Very, very simple. And again, it's making the miniatures come to life. So we'll let that dry and we'll move on to these ones. Ooh, Gareth the Star Wars man! It's the Goblin Boss! Woohoo! So we're just, again, working on these loincloths. Very, very simple. We're just adding that brown. And we're just adding the brown to all the areas that have leather. And these miniatures have, like I say, they have wrist guards. Add some brown. Very, very simple. I'm going to the main boss here. Again. And this is the other thing as well. And I might repeat myself on all my shows. But it's the only way I get my point across when I'm painting. And it's also good to repeat myself, so everybody learns. And that is, when you are batch painting miniatures like these, and you're doing them for your tabletop games or your dungeons or Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, you have to uniform your miniatures, because you want them all the same looking in their color scheme. And this is why when I batch paint, I'll do them all the browns and all the same colours. With the boss miniature, of course, I'll probably add a little bit of gold here and there. But for the main minions of the demonic lord, as I'll call him, we shall go for some silvers for the buckles here. We got some little skull buckles there, so that'll be painted in silver. But mainly, what we do is we keep the browns matching. You want the same colours on all the miniatures to bind them together when they're on the tabletop. It doesn't matter if it's one colour or two colours, but you definitely want one colour that will bind your miniatures into a squad or a unit for your games, which makes them easier to find on the tabletop, and it just makes them look cool because they all look like the goblins. You know, we got all the green goblins and they're all dark browns, and you know, they just look fab. Okay, so just getting this browns on. We're nearly there. Like I say, it's a very simple paint tonight. And very, very enjoyable. I am absolutely having a blast. I do love painting demons. You don't have to worry too much about having the perfect looking skin. You don't have to worry too much about anything. Because we're just working with blacks and reds. It's very, very simple to do, and as you can see, for a recap, for the skin, if you've just joined me, I painted Dragon Black by MSP Paints first. That's my primer coat Then I used Garnet Red, which is a nice dark red by MSP, and that was my first layering on the skin. And then all I did was add blood, fresh blood from MSP, and that was the final highlight for those skin tones. Very, very simple, very fast, and very effective. You get a beautiful looking demonic horde for your games. Now I'm starting my next Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I think it's next weekend, actually 2 weeks time. I don't know if Corey's in chat. I know the Star Wars man Gareth's in chat. Mokai, I'm playing with Mokai. Rod, I'm playing with Rod. Hello, Rod. And Renegade Shank. And we're doing the Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign, which I'm really excited about, because of course I've got all the pirate ships and the boats from Reaper and all the little pirate, so I can base some of my painting shows on my campaign, and I can, you know, it's just, this is what I love about this is what I love about painting the miniatures, is even though we're playing online and in Roll20, I still like to paint my miniatures as a reminder of the games I'm playing in. It just makes it more fun, you know. You got a backstory to the pirate ship, or you got a backstory to the taverns, to the heroes in your games. And for me, it's so exciting to actually paint my miniatures based on real characters that I have played in games. And the same with like these demonic demons. You know, when you've fought them in a dungeon, you want to have some to actually look at and paint, just to give yourself a little bit of backstory and history to the games. Because everything nowadays is becoming online. Everything is online. So those days where we all used to pile around the table and play our games together are slowly becoming obsolete, and it's very upsetting. I can't wait to get back into my friends coming around to the house so we can start playing games again. I mean, I think James was in chat. I mean, I've been promising to have a game with James for ages, but because of COVID and all the rest of the things, we're like little prisoners in our own home, so we're all relying on Roll20 and other sources of our games. But that doesn't stop us painting, and it shouldn't stop you painting either. Everybody paint. Goblin King tells you so. Yes, I will, Renegade Shank. I'll cook it. I'll paint it like a pretzel. You madman. Okay, moving on. We go back to the first one. Now, as you can see, the brown has dried on our first batch. Again, very, very simple. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get that shield brown. This is an MSP shield brown. Give that a little mix, and we'll just add a little highlight to all these little pieces, all the loincloths now. Right then, I've got my little pokey stick. You need a pokey stick. Everybody needs a pokey stick in their life. If you own MSP paints, if you own Army Painter paints, if you own Vallejo paints, you need one of these, because it clears out the nozzles and moves the ball down. Sometimes you've got to give it a good pokey stick. Because even when you use the pokey stick, it still doesn't work. There you go. Okay, so the shield brown is the perfect complement. Is the perfect complement to the wood stain brown. So if you're doing any clothes, if you use your wood stain brown first, and then you want to use your use your shield brown as your highlight. Now, of course, you don't have to be like me and use all the paints. You can just use a little bit of dragon white, and you could add your dragon white into your wood stain brown, and you just make it a lighter white. So the thing of it is, though, when you've got companies like MSP, they're making all these paints for you, and if you're a collector of miniatures, you will be a collector of paints as well. I am probably just as bad at collecting pots of paint as I am the miniatures. So all we're doing now is going down the sides there and just going down the highest areas of the miniature. Just adding a little highlight to the edges of the belt and around. Very, very simple. And what we do here, oh, we've got one of my demonic minions has decided that he wants to go. I'll stick him back on. Now I'm using blue tack, by the way, to stick these miniatures on, and it's just stuck onto the board like so. So I'll just stick it back on. There you go. And the same with these here. What I'm going to do with the wristbands is I'm just going to go a tiny little bit of brown going down each side, just on the top there. It's like a little highlight, really. Very, very simple. And we're done. So we've got the dark brown and the light brown. That's all you need to do. Very, very simple. I'll show you, well, I'm going to show you on all of them, but all we're doing is on the cape here, the little loincloth, down the side, one down the middle, and one on the side there. Simple as that. And again for the actual wristbands, I don't know if you can see, let me see. Just a tiny bit going across, tiny bit going across, and all that's doing is giving a little highlight to the loincloth. Very, very simple to do. And once again, we're going on top of the belt, just on the side there, and again straight down. Just on the edges, and we're done. Same with the wrists, tiny bit there, little tiny bit just there, just going across. And once again, going down the sides, one in the middle. Tiny bit on the old wristbands, and we're done. And we do the same on the back. Tiny little bit on the belt, on the top of the belt, on the sides, and just going down the sides of the loincloth. And this has got quite a high edge, so we go higher up. And we just follow it down. Very, very simple. And we just give that instant highlight to the leather. On the sides, highest areas, we're just picking out the highest ruffles. Each one of these little loincloths have got ruffles on. I don't know if you can see them. So what we're doing, I'm just adding that brown to the highest areas of the ruffles and just following the line down. It's very, very simple. Same again, just following the lines down. A little bit just there. Okay. So we're moving on to the last ones. How are we doing for time? Yeah, we're good. Okay, same again, we're just going to the highest areas of the belt, and we're just moving our way down a little bit, just here, and just on there. Okay, moving on to the larger demon. Now, I've actually missed out his. I'm gonna have to go back onto this demon because I've missed his wristbands, so I'll just do them in a second. In fact, I'll do them quickly now. Got 2 wristbands that I've missed, so we'll just quickly add some of that dark brown, wood stained brown to there. And on this side, and we'll just let that dry a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, moving on, going back to the loincloth. Just adding that shield brown just to give a highlight. And a little bit just there. Top of the belt, and just on the sides there. And we go round, and once again top of the belt, and following the ruffles down the back here, side, and we are done. And the same with the large demon. Again, the top of the belt, I'm just going to add a little bit to the top of the belt there. Side, and follow those ruffles down. Okay, moving on. Too much paint on my brush. There we go. Good. Okay, they're not dry yet, so what we'll do now is we'll move on to the skull buckles. Now, for the belt buckles, I am actually going to use some of my old 90s Hexpot Games Workshop paint, because I can. I'm just trying to use it up. I've only got a little bit left in the bottle there, so I am just trying to use up the last little bits of my old paints. So we'll go back to the first one, and as you can see, each one of these demons has got a nice little skull belt there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just add this silver to that there, and it'll just make it look awesome. Just that one little buckle, just the perfect finish for our demon. A little skull buckle, because they're cool demons. And like I say, because we've painted the black as our undercoat, we actually don't need to do anything to that buckle, because that black is working for us. There we are. Another skull buckle, all done. There we are. Absolutely beautiful. So there's our little buckles done. And as you can see, they are absolutely looking awesome. So the next part will be, after I've done the other buckles, is we'll paint the horns in and get those teeth done. Like I say, we should get all these finished before the show ends today. That'd be nice. Okay, so again, we'll just get these buckles painted. The main boss here, he's got a nice massive buckle. I'm working. I'm actually, because because I've used that black, I'm just working the silver around the actual skull, and of course it's already given the black eyes and everything because we've used that dark primer coat. So it's just a case of going fast over the buckles and we're done. Okay, so there we are. That's all the buckles done. Simple as that. And they look fab. Okay, so what we need to do now is the horns. Thank you, Andrew, for painted miniatures. Okay, right, we need some black. So I've actually got some pure black now. And we'll start painting in the horns. So we're just painting the horns of the miniature, all the miniatures with this black. Actually, I need my pokey stick again. A little bit of black there. Go back to the first batch of minis. And all we need to paint in black are the horns. Oh, too much paint. There we go. There we go. Yes, I like to paint all my demons' horns and claws black. You can go the skeleton bone route. I just find black works awesome for dragons. It works fantastic for horns, for demons. I want it to look as dark as possible. Now I will do the teeth of the demon with skeleton bone, but the horns and the nails, I do like to paint black. I just think it works really nice, having a nice black horns. It's probably from the love of of Legend. If anyone's seen that Tom Cruise film Legend, and you got the Tim Curry was the actual demon or the devil in that film. And he had his horns. If you see the horns on that demon, or the devil as you want to call it, they were black, and they were just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely works a treat. Yes, Michelle, darkness. Okay. Yes, we are absolutely flying along with these minis tonight. Absolutely flying along. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Like I say, I'm definitely in the zone tonight. So I'm probably, if I've missed messages or anything from you, I do apologise. But sometimes, as you know, when I'm painting with Gareth, I can go into that rabbit hole painting. Because I love it so much and actually forget where I am. Okay, this is nice. Now I've got some red here. I'm just going to quickly go over this sword while I'm here, just a little bit, because some of the red was on the sword. So I just want to take that red off. There we are. We're going to utilize the black and the silver on that sword. I'll show you the sword in a sec. So we've got one set of horns to do, and that'll be all the horns done. Now all these blacks I'm using, these are all matte blacks. Some people like to use a gloss black on horns, but I prefer to just actually stick with the matte black effect. We'll just do these here, little tops of the demon claws. So I'll just get a bit of black on there. Okay, so the next part will be the teeth. So we really are doing well today. Okay, we got 5 more minutes, so I'll just get the teeth done, and we should be good to go. Thank you everybody for following the channel and subscribing to the channel. It's very, very kind of you. I don't normally, for most of you in the USA who are watching, I normally stream an hour earlier than this, but because of the time zones, it's worked out that I'm streaming a little bit later tonight. Oh, the sword, that'll just be some silver. We'll actually go back to that in a sec. The sword, I shall probably just dry brush silver because it's got lots of little pit holes. It's got pit holes all over there. Dry brushing the silver will work really well because it'll keep all that black on the sword so it looks pitted. Thank you, Odysseys. That's very kind of you to say. Okay, let's get these teeth in. Now, with the teeth, what I do is for speed painting miniatures, you don't need to paint in every single tooth individually. I think this is tooth. So what we do is we just find where the teeth are, which is quite difficult, and we just go straight across. Straight across. I actually can't see the teeth there. There you go. We're just following the teeth areas, and what we'll do is we shall use an ink wash over the, there we are, perfect. What we'll do is we shall use an ink wash over the teeth, and that'll pick out all the separate teeth. So what we're doing is we are actually very gently going across the area where the teeth are, picking out the individual teeth just by going along. And then when we add a brown, I'll add a brown ink wash over these teeth, and that'll pick out all the details on the teeth. It's a much simpler way of painting all the teeth than actually doing them individual, because I know many of you will paint each one individually. So this is a very fast way of getting the same effect, but much easier. So we just got the teeth in there. Do the same on these ones. So we're just going where the teeth are. It's actually quite difficult to see all the teeth. There we are. There we are, perfect. Absolutely awesome stuff. So we're just following these teeth around. This one's coming out, and at the bottom there. And like I say, once I add that brown ink wash, that will pick out each one of these teeth even more. It'll be fab, which I'll show you in a minute once we've got these painted. It's just a nice, very simple way of painting all the teeth, fast and easy. You still do need a steady hand, of course, and remember, practice makes perfect. Don't give up, keep on painting, and you will get better, you will get faster, but remember, it does take time. A lot of people get put off because you know, you're not fantastic straight away. I'm learning now. I've been painting over 30 years and I'm still learning every day new techniques, new ways to paint. That's also the beauty about miniature painting, is you're always learning. Okay, now I need to find some brown wash. Actually, I'll use this strong tone here. Actually, no, I won't. I'll use the... One second. It's a strong tone. So I'm using a strong tone. Oh, there it is. That's the one I wanted. Sorry, I found it. I wanted my Agrax Surf shade. I wanted my Agrax Surf shade. Yeah, take care, Tal. Thank you so much for popping by. I will be finishing myself in a few minutes. I just want to get these teeth done to show everybody the teeth. And then I feel like I've accomplished something really cool tonight. Okay, so again, using the same brush, what we're doing is just going over the teeth with the brown. That will pick out all the different areas of the teeth. Just let it go into all the recesses. Just there. And as you can see, all the I don't know if you can see that, all the teeth are now individual. They've all been separated by the ink wash. See? All the teeth are now separated just by adding that ink wash. So all we've done is we've added a line where the teeth are, and then by adding that ink wash afterwards, that's separated each of these teeth to make them individual. It just saves so much time rather than painting every single individual tooth, which many of you do. In fact, I used to do it. I used to do it all the time. I'd paint each little tooth, but just by doing this little technique where you just add a line, of white over all the teeth and fill in with some brown ink wash, and you'll get individual teeth pop out. Absolutely awesome stuff. Okay, so I'll show you again these last four. Again, we just add that ink wash over the teeth we've just done, and that separates the paint, so it looks like each one of these teeth has been painted individually. Very, very simple. Okay, last one. Awesome stuff. And we are done. Okay, so I will just show you these quickly, and we shall say goodnight. Now, before I do say goodnight, what I will do is say, for the eyes are very, very simple again. Dragon white, just a dot of white on each eye, and then I shall use, where is it? There we are. I'll use the contrast yellow by Games Workshop. This gives a very, very, very bright yellow to the eyes, and then it's just a little slit for the snake eye, as I call it. So there we are. This is what I've done for tonight. This has been a nice little hour's paint. So very, very simple to do. I hope you all try this at home. We got ourselves some very, very nice demonic demons for our games. All I need to do now is finish up the bases, and I'm going to call these done. And of course I'll add the eyes. Well, like I say, nice, simple, easy paint. You've got some lovely tones now going down the skin, and as you can see, I got that dark at the bottom of the skin going up light, and they got a nice light top to all the skins, and absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And there we are. Absolutely gorgeous minis. Well done to Bobby Jackson sculpting those. So thank you every single one of you for popping onto the show tonight. I've had a blast. It's absolutely awesome you all supporting the stream. I shall be back on Thursday, and I shall be painting a Whiz Kids miniature on Thursday. Let me show you the miniature. This Thursday I will be painting this for Gareth, the Star Wars man. This is the zombie Hulk. It's a zombie Hulk. So I'll be painting this on Thursday for Gareth. So there we are. I hope you pop in to see me this coming Thursday. I shall say goodnight to you all. Thank you once again for popping on the show, and love to every single one of you. So take care, everyone.